It's important that we understand why things have to unfold the way that they do in our lives. It's really important that we understand the significance. It's important that we train ourselves to see the bigger picture when we are presented with chaos. And I say that because we have free will to do whatever we want. We could either listen to our intuition, we could listen to God's guidance, we could listen to our calling, or we could be like YOLO, which is really not the case, because you don't live once. You actually are infinite and you can live as many lives as you want. But that's another story for another day. But yes, you only get this life one time, and in my personal opinion, I say, why not make it your best life? I feel like a lot of people, and this is a little bit off topic, but I feel like a lot of people think that a life with God is no fun. Like, for some reason, I realized that God is a taboo subject. But like I was saying, we could choose to follow God, follow our intuition, follow our calling, or we could just choose to do the opposite and just dilly-dally and just create a mess in your whole entire life, right? And let's say at the beginning you did create a mess. You went ahead and you were just reckless with your life, just careless with your life. And then you get to a point in your life, where you're like, well, I don't want it to be this way anymore. I want to change things around. Know that if there's a will, there's a way. If you say you are going to change things around, just know that you have now opened that door. You have set yourself on the path to changing things around. But because you have created this mess, well, the only way to clean up a mess is to pick it up and get rid of it. You understand what I'm saying there? And what I mean by that is, you're going to have to let go of a lot of those reckless habits, those reckless thoughts, those reckless actions, those reckless routines that you kept yourself in while you were living that reckless life. Because in order for you to not live a reckless life anymore, and I'm saying reckless, but you can use any word that fits you, whether it's sad or constantly just bitter, whatever the case may be, you have to literally change what you are doing, change the way you think, change the way you present yourself. And when I say present yourself, I mean how you interact with other people. Just change that all around. And in time, you must give it time. If it wasn't for time, literally there would be no such thing as growth, because growth happens over time. Growth is gradual. And what I'm trying to say here with all of that is, as you are picking up the pieces to turn your life around, it will feel chaotic, because all that you know is being uprooted and thrown in the garbage. And you're like, well, what's next? The uncertainty is really the most beautiful part of the journey, because the fact that things are uncertain means that you have to focus on where you are now. We try so hard to predict our future and how we're going to end up. We try so hard to predict how things will unfold for us. And it never unfolds that way. And for me, the only thing that I can predict is that I can't predict it. Like, one thing I always say to myself, if it's any way I imagine my future to look, it'll look better than I'm imagining, and it will unfold in a way that I'm not imagining. That's the only two things I know for certain. And so pretty much what the whole premise of this is, when things feel chaotic, when things feel like they're being ripped up, the way I described it I think it was like 2 days ago when I was talking to God, it's like when you're baking, right? When you're baking something and then you pour it into the next bowl so you can put it in the oven, and then the batter is kind of just like on one side. It's not where the batter is not where it's meant to be. You understand what I'm saying? So you kind of got to shake it up a little bit and make sure it's in the corners and tilt it that way and tilt it that way, so that way it can settle into the position that it's meant to be, so it can settle into the most optimal position for baking. I hope that just made sense, y'all. Like, I don't know why. That's just how my brain thinks. I don't know. In so many words, what I'm trying to say here, that chaos, when you're changing your life around for the better, that chaos will feel like you are that batter, like you're being shaken up, like you're just wobbling, like you're not stable in life. That's what that chaos will feel like. But the minute it's done, you realize that had to happen in order for you to be in this optimal position, for you to rise and for you to be made new. Because batter and cake is two different things. Yes, the batter makes the cake, but the batter is just the beginning. First you got to stir everything together, whip it. I'm not about to sit up here and tell y'all how to make a cake. But you get what I'm saying though, like all of that has to happen so that way we can have such beautiful cakes, like birthday cakes, wedding cakes, all sorts of cakes. You understand what I'm saying? I actually have a sweet tooth, y'all, so excuse me for constantly mentioning cake if I'm making y'all hungry. But that's the beautiful thing about life. It's like when you finally understand, and when you've been through a certain thing so many times, or different lessons or similar things so many times, you really start to understand why things are the way they are before it's over. Like if you're the batter, right? Let's just take cake out of the equation. But if life is shaking you up, you've gotten to the most highest perspective, not the most, because you can never stop growing, but you've reached a new height when you no longer realize why things needed to happen once the chaos is over. You realize it the minute, me personally, I realize it the minute it starts. But even if it is happening and you realize, oh snap, this is for my own good, that's what we really need to be telling ourselves. A lot of us, and I say us because we are collective. It might not be you, but it could be someone else watching. As humans, another thing is we've got to stop making ourselves seem like we're separate. You get what I mean? Because, yeah, we all look different. But last time I checked, we all have 600 something muscles, 203 bones, I think. We all got eyes, a nose, a mouth. Well, not all of us. Some people are disabled, and that's okay, but that doesn't make them any less human. What I'm trying to say here, we might look different on the outside, but we all come from the same person. We are all connected to one God, one truth, one band, one sound. Literally, universe, I learned, and it makes so much sense. Universe means one harmony. When you break the word apart, uni, one, verse, harmony. We all mean it. We all mean universe means one harmony. And so what that means is everything, not just here on earth, but everything out there in the universe is in sync, which means the universe is forever changing based off what we do. So if we can sit here, go through this chaos when it's really not chaos, it's really just you being positioned in the right place, and it can feel weird. Think of it like a tree, right? If you've got a tree growing and you don't want to just kill the tree off, but it's in your way, so you want to move. It's like a little sapling tree. You've got to uproot that tree and plant it somewhere new, and for a little while it's gonna feel like chaos to that tree. That tree probably freaking the heck out, don't know where it's going, but in reality you just put the tree somewhere where it's safe and it's also not in your way. You get what I mean? In so many words, that's what God is doing. When you're going through that chaos, he's taking you somewhere where it's safe and where things are not going to be in your way. He's taking you to an even better spot to grow and to move forward towards your dreams. It's literally the way I see. I know I keep giving so many examples because right now it just keeps popping up in my head for some reason, all these examples. So imagine walking down a path, right? Like, let's imagine like you're in a jungle walking down a path, but you're like this popular jungle person, right? And do I want to say popular? I don't mean popular, but let's just say you've got so many things surrounding you that are not for your highest good, and God sees your heart. We stand naked before God. God sees your heart, and he sees you don't need all of these things around you. You don't need all these people in your head telling you to go this way, that way. You need to focus on him, and he can tell you want to focus on him, but you can't because you have all these distractions. So what God is going to do is he's going to pick you up. You're going to be freaking out because you're like, where the heck are you taking me? And you're going to be dropped somewhere with less noise. And the more and more you choose to focus on God, because that's the real strength training right there. When you can train your mind even throughout distraction to stay focused, that's real strength right there. The real strength when it comes to focus isn't about having no distractions and you're able to focus. The real test of focus is shown when you are surrounded by distractions, yet you keep your eyes on the prize, yet you keep your eyes on God, yet you keep your eyes forward. That's focus. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you're facing right now. If you're in a good spot right now, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of the sortsly, then hey, good for you, man. You keep working on yourself. You keep doing what you got to do. Follow the song of your heart. One thing that I've noticed ever since, like, literally, I can't, at this point, I don't even think I could give y'all timelines, because it all happened so fast, and I was not documenting my spiritual journey back then. So in so many words, one thing I've noticed is that when you are following your heart, because our heart, it hums a soft, sweet melody. It's quiet. It's a little quiet. And so when you just pay attention to it, and you pay attention to what you really want, you get those people out of your ear, and you pay attention to what you really want, you can really hear the song of your heart. And it is so peaceful, man. I did that last night. I just went into like a meditation. At first I was talking to God, and then all of a sudden I just had the urge to just be quiet. I'm over here yapping, and then I'm like, and then I just kind of leaned back and I just went into meditation. And you know what the atmosphere in my heart felt like? Because I imagined my heart as an actual house, right? It felt warm. It felt really warm and inviting and cozy, almost like a little cabin with a fireplace going, and it smelled like some good food was being cooked up. Like, it felt safe. And I realized, even though I do not know where I'm going, even though I know I'm being led to greatness, but I don't know how things are going to unfold for me, one thing I just kept hearing from my heart, the song of my heart, the lyrics that were being sang to me was, it is safe for me to heal here. Where I am right now, where God has me positioned, it is safe for me to heal here. It's safe for me to rest here. It's safe for me to be myself authentically here. It is safe for me to create here. It is safe for me to experience something new here. That's what was being said to me. And so I'm following my heart. I'm following my heart, man. And it feels so good. And I just felt like I needed to say that to somebody, because no matter what, no matter where you are in life, you can always rest and heal. Don't let the outside noise around you tell you you got to keep going, because that's how I got to this point, really. I was too busy trying to go, trying to get everything done. I was like, because I saw so many people who have lived completely different lives from me, had completely different experiences from me, are on a completely different part of their life than I am. And on top of that, no two souls are here to have the same exact life journey. Yes, people might be twins. Somebody could look alike, but even twins don't have the same exact life journey. And that's just the truth. And so there is no way in heck you should be comparing yourself to somebody else. There's no way you should be comparing your life journey to somebody else's life journey, because y'all don't even have the same life journey. Even if you have a twin, right? Physically, you should not even compare yourself to your twin physically, because y'all have two different bodies. You take care of your bodies in different ways. You're two different people with two different brains. You get what I mean? Two different souls. And really what I'm trying to say here is, take time to silence the noise, silence the distractions. And sometimes we can be the biggest distraction. We can hold ourselves back. We can keep ourselves in the chaos. Like, even though that, like, God might have you shaken up a little bit, right, just to position you where you need to be, and then we end up just keeping ourselves in the chaos. Even though it's over, we'd be like, oh my gosh, that was so crazy. And you just keep reliving the chaos, just constantly reliving that chaos that you went through over and over and over again. One thing I will always say, you are not bound to repeat your past. Especially when you learn from your mistakes, you are not bound to repeat your past. Because even when you find yourself delving into the past reckless behavior that you used to delve into, you'll find like there is such resistance when you, like, literally, like I said in my last video, I know it's been a while, because I really just had to take this break and just really like allow myself to gracefully shift into this new timeline that I've entered. Allow myself to gracefully shift onto this new, better, brighter path for myself, right? And I said in my last video, what was I just talking about? I think I said in my last video, like, it was times where I would self-sabotage and choose the chaos. And I used to like tune into so much drama and negativity. Even though I'm in a good place in my life, I used to just purposefully choose that because I was reliving the chaos. Like, I just felt like the chaos still had to keep going because that's what I thought it was, and that's really not the case. God will shake you up, position where you need to be, position you where you need to be, so that way you can grow. And recently, every time I just like see one of them videos on my timeline when I open YouTube, or I just see something that is out of alignment with this version of me that has now been born, even that most recent version of me that I had just let go of, and I see that chaos, I genuinely just feel like repelled. It's kind of like when you put two magnets that are like the same and they just never touch. Like, I just don't. That's literally, I just don't. And that just shows how much I've grown, and that just shows how much it is possible for us to grow when we let go of those things that are no longer serving us. When we take the time to understand what is really happening in our lives, we grow. When you take the time to just be still and understand what's going on around you, you grow. You attain knowledge, you grow. But that's all that I have for this video. I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everybody who is joining the community. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man. I remember we had, when I first started this community, it was nothing but me and my best friend, 2 people. And it took about 4 months. And then we had 10 people in the community. And I remember like, wow. And that was back in January. Here we are 7 months, actually 8 months. It's actually August. I hope y'all set y'all goals for this month. I hope we set the goals, you guys. It's always important to have goals because a lot can change in just a month. A lot can change in 21 days. So I hope y'all set some goals for this month. It's not too late because we still have a lot of time left in this month. So go ahead and set them goals, y'all, and start taking action right now. But wow, like 1,216 people at the moment. I know this from the top of my head. That is so crazy to me. I remember when that used to just be an image in my head. I've said before, whatever you are picturing in your head, whatever beautiful painting you are picturing in your head, you gotta take action in order to see it happen in your real life. And I'm just really like blown away. Like, wow, like that's 1,216 people that are changing their lives for the better. And the fact that you are changing your life for the better, starting from within, that means the universe is also changing for the better. The universe, like I said, universe, one harmony, meaning when we all just get our together, imagine what the world would look like. When we all just get it together, when we all just take the time and heal, work on yourself, do that meditation, work out your body, laugh more, smile more, tell yourself that you love yourself more than life itself. That was a lot of selves, but yeah, like, you really gotta be your own best friend. It doesn't matter if you even have a best friend. If you do or you don't, learn how to be your own best friend before anybody else. And on top of that, put God before anybody else. Instead of going off and venting to other people, vent to God. Because I could go vent to one of you guys watching, and y'all won't be able to help me. Y'all won't be able to guide me through what I'm going through. The only person who has that higher sight, the most highest perspective is God himself. He knows the best possible option for me. You don't know that. I don't know how to help you. You don't know how to help me. You get what I mean? So vent to God before anybody else. And then once you've got it situated, if you want to go tell your friend, I was going through this thing, but I made it. That's cool, but that's all that I have to say for this video. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you to anybody who just is on the path to bettering themselves, because the more and more you work on yourself, you really start to see life just get better for you physically, because you're changing within. It's just like the universe. The changes you make within reflect in your outside reality, right? And if you are exuding that positive energy in your outside reality, the universe is mirroring that, and great changes are happening out there in the universe. But you got to believe it, because we walk by faith, not by sight. So you gotta believe, even though you cannot see right now, even though you do not see right now, you gotta believe. But that's really all that I have for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Now I'll see y'all in my next video. Until next time, bye friends.